We have compiled a list of recommendations to help you reach your financial goals and manage your finances in a stress-free way in order to be prepared for the future.
Right now, they updated the what we're learning about this year. So because many adults, we learned that not many of them are putting enough money into savings, or not preparing for their future, or they didn't when they were younger. So they thought it was important for us to learn about that now before we start doing it when we're 30 and then we don't end up saving for retirement.
So the case study is that teacher gives us a person, for example, and we have to solve their financial problems and give them financial advice to help them get out of the trouble that they might be in financially.
We learned a ton of strategies, and then the case study was tying them all together.
We went through their portfolio because we got
a ton of info.
We got 2 pages of their financial state, what they do, how they act, where they work, their past credit scores, their degrees, stuff like that.
There was a series of problems. You more or less turn it into this presentation, which you'd simulate sharing to your client, which would more or less just be saying how you'd solve your issues and whatnot.
Because of how much we learned about it and how much research we had to do, it made everything just clearer and made it click into place.
It put things in perspective because I'll be handling real people and I have to think not just about what's right, but about what will make them happy.
I think at first, definitely seeing all the different parts of the assignment was very overwhelming. Mm-hmm. But then once we slowed down, took it step by step, it was a lot easier to manage.
We identified the problems, what they were doing well, and things that we think would be good to talk about.
As you can see, over the many topics you're investing in, you make a lot of profit towards good causes. But also notice how you invested in 401ks, balanced mutual funds, blue chip stocks, CDs, corporate bonds, and more. This is called diversifying your investments.
So one of them was named Mary. She had a lot of debt, so we had to make a new budget for her. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that we probably all put into just paying off the credit cards as quick as possible.
I didn't realize how easy it was to fall behind on your money. The family we were looking at, right when we first looked at it, we were oh, they don't have much going on. But as we got more into the unit and we dug deeper, we had too much stuff to put in our presentation, and that there's stuff that's unseen that you might not think about, oh, I'm only $2,500 in debt, I can pay that off within the next 10 years, but then maybe 10 years later, you might be $10,000 into debt.
You have to think about every single aspect that you're doing, because it's going to affect not only your financial present, but also your future and your kids' futures too.
I think it made me realize how difficult this type of thing actually is.
Yeah, we were running out of time.
Yeah,
we had to cut a ton of things out of our script just because there was so much to say.
Miss Willman did a spectacular job.
She did a great job. Well, she just she explained everything in depth but really quickly for the time she was given to explain all this stuff till the when we had to start our case study. She did a really good job teaching us stuff quickly but efficiently, and she was really good at making sure everybody in the class understood things and everybody was on topic.
And the questions that we could ask, we could ask any questions. Sometimes we would get off topic a little bit, but it just led into more things that we could learn about, and it made it seem more real life, and we need to figure this out, and it's important to learn it.
Expenses. To calculate your profit margin is a fairly easy equation. You first take your revenue minus the amount of expenses. Then you take that number and divide it by 100. This will leave you with your number, which you convert to a percentage of 100 to represent the profit margin.
Maybe becoming an entrepreneur, not having to work for anyone else. I feel that's the American dream,
Yeah, I feel this course really is good to prepare you for being owning a business or being a financial advisor, especially because
you can't like this like financial stuff is kind of hard to do like on your own, and like you really need financial advisors to like help you with it. But like once you're good at it, you could be the advisor. Like once you have a business, it's good to like know these things so that you're able to support yourself well and not fall into like a lot of debt.
I felt like to some extent we all knew what needs and wants were beforehand, but it's like after the case study, it definitely felt like we knew a lot more than we did before about needs versus wants.
And like take it throughout our lives, because it makes me feel like prepared and stuff. It makes me feel like, oh, I learned about this in 8th grade. No problem.
Because whenever like I went home and I talked to my parents about it, they were all like, I'm so happy you're learning about this. I never knew this. And it just made me happy because I wanted to be like, have a good life.
Yeah.
Whenever my mom was talking about like financial stuff, I'd always like just kind of correct her and stuff.
Like what? Like what?
Well,
What kinds of things are you talking about?
maybe not correct her, but when she was talking about like our savings, I was like, oh, make sure you put in at least 15%.
We will end this presentation how we started it. Your family is on the road to financial stability and success, and with our help, we believe you will be able to reach